Hello, everyone.
Hello, Steve.
Hello, Bex. Hello, Cynthia. Bex, where the hell are we? What are we doing? Whose show is this?
This is my show.
Okay, then you should do the intro then.
Oh, wait. I need to turn my camera on. This is my show. Hello, Steve. Hello, Cynthia. Hello, everybody.
What up?
Okay, welcome to another episode of Pillow Talk with Princess Bex. I am your host, the Pink Princess Bex, of course. And tonight, here with me again is Steve. Hi, Steve and Cynthia.
Hello.
How are my favorite people tonight?
Just capital. Doing just good. Just good enough.
Cynthia, how are you tonight?
I am marvelous. How are you?
I'm good. I'm great.
So what are we talking about tonight, Bex? Pillow Talk, your show, rolling it out. You look like you ready to step out on the town tonight. What are we talking about?
Oh, she hitting the town.
I had to compose myself. Like, I went to go take out the trash and I saw like the biggest Baltimore rat ever. Like, that shit was humongous. And it low-key scared me. Like, that shit was wild. But anyway, tonight we are talking about, well, tonight's topic originally was supposed to be about insecurities and jealousy, specifically in a relationship. But because this isn't just like one topic, there's definitely going to be like a part 2 to this.
Okay.
So we're going to get into jealousy first tonight.
Okay.
Hello, Rebuke TV. Greetings to you. How are you? Okay, so before we jump into the topic, I just want to say that I, your host, Princess Bex, will be 100% honest about this topic because I've been told by a certain gentleman that, you know, women aren't really honest about topics like these. So I just wanted to let that be known, get that out beforehand.
Okay. Oh, I thought you were talking about Cynthia. I was like, damn, Cynthia, why are you stunned on her like that?
No, I'm talking about you.
I mean, I do stick by my statement. I don't feel like, women are always necessarily their most honest when they're in a group regarding these subjects. Not that they can't be honest, just that they won't most of the time because they don't want to be judged, which I understand. I get that.
Whatever. Anyway. Okay, so jealousy. We're talking about jealousy. What is it? Why do we have these feelings of jealousy? Are men more jealous than women? And like, how do we combat these issues? And is jealousy sexy?
Okay, so I guess that for me, I think it depends on the person, right? And it depends on the thing. When I was a younger man, I used to think a woman being jealous was sexy. I'm like, I want one of those rah, where you going? Put your hands in my face type of women. And I used to think that type of stuff was sexy. And then once you really start to experience the insecurities, the subtle threats, the who you with, what you doing, what your zodiac sign type of energy. Then it becomes less sexy. I think it became less and less sexy the older I got.
Okay. So let's define the topic first.
Okay.
So what is jealousy? Jealousy is a complex emotion that has feelings ranging from suspicion to rage to fear to humiliation. Also feelings of resentment against someone because that person, they may be successful and, they're like your rival or something. It's almost like you feel threatened. And the threat can either be real or it can be imaginary. Like it can be all in your head for real. I 1000% relate to like the rage element. Like when I get jealous, it's more me being angry than me being like suspicious or fearful or like humiliated or whatever. So, next question is like, why do people get jealous? According to Psychology Today, research has identified like many root causes of extreme jealousy, including low self esteem, feeling possessive of others, particularly like your romantic partners, and fear of abandonment as well is also a key motivator. What do you guys think?
Oh, go ahead, Susie.
Um, I could see. Well, what was the one right before abandonment? Because I wanted to say that and abandonment.
It was possessive, feeling possessive of others.
Possessive and abandonment. So I feel like, at least in my experience in life, those would be the two biggest signs I've seen or even felt personally from um, jealousy. I guess what I'm trying to get to.
Okay, I could dig that. I could dig that. When I've experienced it, man, like being possessive and like the anger, and this is not a proud like some proud things to admit, man, but it's always been when I was feeling the person, and I had this thing in the beginning where I was like, I'm feeling them too much, right? And it was like an unhealthy, I'm into this person to the point where it went from just thinking about them to ruminating, and then that leads into the possessiveness, and then them not meeting an expectation of mine, which probably was not communicated, then turned into anger.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like how you should read my mind. You should know that I don't want to go out tonight. I just want to hang out with you, keep you all to myself.
That was the type of shit you was doing?
before, not now. Does that make sense? Can anyone relate to that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can relate to that. That makes sense. What do you think are some signs of jealousy? Like, are there signs that you like immediately like recognize and you're like, okay, I know what this shit is?
For myself, or when the other person's becoming jealous?
Both.
I can tell when another person that prior to obviously marriage, or even sometimes like my wife is not a naturally jealous woman, but I can tell if something is bothering her and making her feel less than secure. In past relationships, I could tell someone was becoming jealous based off of the way they were moving, especially if it's a woman. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's a woman. If she says I'm fine, she ain't fine. She's not happy with you. She's not happy with you. Those are the traits I usually picked up on.
That's not always true.
It's always true. Categorically, it's categorically true. She says she's fine. She's, the relationship might already be over depending on how long y'all been together.
Okay. So like according to my research, like some of the main like signs of unhealthy jealous behaviors have been like checking your spouse's phone or email without their permission, insulting your spouse, assuming that they're not attracted to you, grilling them about their whereabouts throughout the day, and accusing them of lying without evidence. Can you guys relate to any of those?
100%. 100%.
Which
Oh, I'm not going into that, but I'll tell you this much. I've never gone through my wife's phone, right? But early in our relationship, I used to sneak peeks when she was texting. You know what I'm saying? Like I come over, give her a hug, and be like, "Oh, I love you." I'll give her a hug from the back, or I'm reading my comic book and I just kind of glance over, and I'm like,
You were getting sneaky. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But wait, ask the question again, because I want to make sure I'm answering the question.
Like can you relate to any of these behaviors, these jealous behaviors?
Yeah, man. For me personally, I don't know for anyone else, man. The maturity helped me grow out of this stuff, but I can relate because, like I said before, there have been times, even I think even early on with Mrs. Hold Up, because I was in so many other unhealthy relationships, it was weird to be in a normal one So when I would go out of town for work and stuff like that, I had to fight the urge to be like, yo, send me a picture of where you at right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's like, I'm going out with my friends. Like, yeah, well, let me get a video cam shot. Let me see who's there right now. Pan around the whole room. Don't just show me you. I wanted to take the phone around. But then it started to dissipate, you know. The more I matured, the more I realized I could trust this person.
See, I think one big thing that you mentioned that both parties do, male and female, is the accusations without proof. And I get it, like you should have proof, but you know, speaking from a perspective of a relationship you've been in for a while, someone you've spent a lot of time around, you just know. Like I don't even know how to describe it. You just know when someone's doing some foul shit in the relationship. So you might not have the evidence, but you know, and it'll eventually come out. But unfortunately, by the time it does come out, you've already accused them. And so that first accusation is always what, like, a lot of times it ends up being the end of the relationship. But that's when you really see like the unhealthy part of the jealousy is usually that first accusation. But it's from a feeling, you know, like it's different if it was
Yeah, gut feeling.
you've been going out with for a month or something like that, and you're low self-confidence or something, so you're always thinking she's trying to find or he's trying to find someone other than you. But if you've been in a while, you just know, because they do little things. Little things are different already at that point.
Okay, one thing that I really wanted to get into is, do you think men are more jealous than women? Or do you think women are more jealous? Like, who do you think is more jealous?
So, okay.
In the context of a romantic relationship.
Oh boy. So I mean, go ahead, Cincy. Something wrong with my camera and my mic. I'll be right back.
So I don't think one is more particularly jealous than the other. I just think they react differently, and because of the way the reactions are, I feel like men are the ones that get pointed out for being jealous easier or more frequently.
And
because
why do you think this?
Because excuse me, when men have a jealous reaction to something, it usually pushes the borderline of like super possessive, or even the angry trait you were talking about earlier, like a sign of jealousy. Whereas women's sign of jealousy is still there and maybe just as toxic or detrimental to the relationship, but it's more petty. And when you're petty, you're usually subtle. So it doesn't show publicly as much that you're having those same jealous emotions.
Okay, I get it. Steve, is your camera working?
It's still messed up. Nah, here I No, okay. So to answer the question, I couldn't concisely say that one is more jealous than the other, right? Because I would be answering with a blanket statement. From my experience, though, both sexes express it differently, right? So women will express their jealousy in a different manner, but when it comes about talking about the jealousy, they may not always be willing to vocally share that with the man that they're with. Where a man can't help but show that he's jealous by deed and, words, deed, and action. Like, you're gonna notice when your guy's jealous, even if he thinks he's the most slick fool on earth, because he's gonna start behaving differently. He's gonna be a little bit tenser than he was before. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna manifest. I feel as if, though, sometimes women can be jealous and you won't even know. And I'm not trying to contradict myself, but like sometimes it'll catch you off guard. You're like, what? Hold on for a second. I thought we were eating lobster. I don't know this waitress. You know what I'm saying? Like, it sneaks up on you. So I think the approach is different. I think they can equally be in the same space of jealousy. You know what I'm saying?
That's absolutely true, because you could go like 4 weeks from the incident, and next thing you know, you do one thing and your girl come at you like, oh, that's what you was thinking about that bitch, huh? Like a fucking 2 months later, pull that shit. Like, I don't even remember the incident.
What happened? I agree.
No comment.
What do you think, Bex?
I mean, I agree with you. I think there really isn't like who's jealous more type thing. I think it's just okay. So I did some digging, and according to my research, some evidence suggests that in the context of romantic relationships, men feel greater jealousy about like sexual infidelity.
Okay.
While women, they tend to feel more jealous about emotional infidelity.
So let's break that down. What's the emotional? I know what it means, but like when you're talking to people, when you're a male and you're talking to another woman, you're getting something that you know outside of your relationship. But why is the emotional infidelity worse for women?
You say, why is it what?
Why is it worse? Why does that impact women more?
I mean, it didn't really say that it was worse. It was just saying that, men and women feel it differently.
Okay.
But according to Psychology Today, romantic jealousy is widely understood to be different for men and women because, each gender has like a different level of investment in reproduction.
Okay.
They went to talk about like for a man to provide for like genetically distant children, that decreases his reproductive system. And because men are uncertain whether they are really the father of said children, they are more susceptible to be sexual, they're more susceptible to sexual infidelity. And then women, they know that they're the mother of the child, but they are more dependent on men for resources, making them more sensitive to emotional infidelity since it could threaten, the supply of resources for herself and her child. So that's how they broke it down.
Okay. Can I say something? Right.
Go ahead, something.
I appreciate the data, and I appreciate the assessment of Psychology Today. They are, a creditable source in most topics. Let's not be stiff about this. Let's get organic. Let's get a little bit more organic, right? Let's open this up. So, in regards to the emotional cheating, right? I would say that that's kind of a farce, and which one highlights it the most, because nowadays I feel like both parties experience it the same. Maybe men weren't so emotionally enlightened in days past, is the argument you can make. But I would challenge that notion with this, right? If your lady is texting with a dude all the time, maybe you don't know what the term emotional infidelity means, but you're going to feel a certain type of way that she's always texting with her quote unquote male friend every time you get into an argument, or this fool is texting with, like, depending on the type of woman you're with, what I'm saying? Like, he's always texting, period. It's like, yeah, why are you talking to this guy for? What's going on? And I think it's the same thing for women. Now, I don't think for a second that women don't respond to, and I'm not saying that's what the article said, but I think women sometimes can get a little weird about certain things, right? Like they can get a little weird about the bubbly girl at the party, right? And she's like, "Oh my God, Cynthia, how you doing, Steve?" Comes over, big hug, you know what I'm saying? And that's where I see an inconsistency with women sometimes. They be like, "Oh, that's just my homeboy. That's just how he is," right? But let that one chick show up to the party that's just like, "Oh my God, I haven't seen you in years," and she gives you one of those long hugs where her leg goes up in the back.
Yeah. What's with that? Why are we doing that? Why are we walking side by side like that? What's that about?
That honestly, that's what I think, man. It, like, I don't know, Bex. Like, this is why I don't think women are honest, and I think the girl code really starts to come up. The sister code, the pink tax code, right?
Oh my God.
I think that when it comes to jealousy, women rationalize why it's okay for them to be jealous.
You said women rationalize?
Oh yeah, I think women rationalize why it's when they get jealous, they will rationalize the shit out of it and why it's okay for them to be jealous. I said it. I said what I said. I ain't scared. Internet can come after me. Your boy ain't scared.
I'm not gonna argue with you on that. I was going to, but I'm not. I'm not gonna argue with you on that because I've done it before. So
okay, do tell.
I mean, I'm not gonna get into all the details, but I've done it before. And when he approached me about a certain situation, about a certain, like male best friend, I was like, okay, that's just my best friend. Like I've known him for like so and so years or whatever. And just basically like trying to gaslight him for real. But that's just me.
See, finally, we're getting somewhere. See, this is what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm being honest.
Yeah, but see, you tried to deflect. You were like, well, according to psychology today, that
I was just telling you what psychologists have to say about it.
What's what one psychologist has to say. That article was written by one psychologist. I don't know. What do you think, Sissy? I don't know. Turn your mic on.
I forgot to turn it off. Okay. I was enjoying the show. I thought I was off tonight, damn it. I think both parties do try and rationalize it, but here's the difference. The guy will try and rationalize it like in the heat of the moment if y'all have to get into it over this. And then like maybe, however long later when the argument's done, he's sitting there thinking it's like, yeah, that was some fucking punk ass shit to do. A woman, on the other hand, at least in my experience, will continue to rationalize it to the point where it just becomes truth in her head for the rest of existence.
Okay. Yeah, well, Bex, I mean, it's on you. See, this is why you should probably have another woman up here with you, right? Because you're gonna start accusing us of ganging up on you. You're muted. Unmute yourself.
Why would I do that? I'm not gonna do that.
So all right, let's keep it organic. Let's keep it 100 trill. Keep it a buck, right? Is jealousy sexy? Sometimes it can be. Is jealousy insane? Yes, it can be, because I believe in what Martin said in the infamous stand-up. You didn't know he was crazy, deranged, you know what I'm saying? And it's like the most normal person you could meet, like smoothest motherfucker, woman or male, you meet. And then when they start catching feelings and they feel that nasty green monster start to tug at their sanity, I'm sure you can relate to this, right? Have you ever been so jealous where things just stop making sense? You're like, why are you eating cornflakes now?
You get tunnel vision.
You wasn't eating cornflakes last week. Oh, now you just all of a sudden you want to start working out. Well, that's more the woman's position. If you start working out and you're a male and you're in a relationship and you haven't been working out, and you start working out, I guarantee that woman's going to be like, what you doing sit-ups for? Who you doing sit-ups for?
I don't think that I've gone that overboard before. Like I've been jealous, but I don't think I've been that extra before.
I'm calling cap.
Have you ever put hands on somebody?
No, I have never done that. Like I'm not.
Cap? Can we call Cap right now?
I'm not that type of female.
Who's got Colin's number? Because I'm calling Kaepernick.
Seriously, like you think that's me? Like you think I'm really getting like jealous to the point that I'm just about to smack a nigga?
Maybe sometimes.
Jealousy is always, it can, and possessiveness, all that, it can be sexy until someone actually really yokes you up or hits you in the throat. And that goes male or female, because they'll both do it.
Okay. I will be the first to admit that I am very possessive in most of my relationships. So I will admit that I do have a very short fuse. With time, though, I have realized that jealousy in my relationships is more about my own vulnerabilities than like my partner's actions. Like it's a legit like a it's not you, it's me type thing. I know I'm possessive. I know that you're not an object that I can own. So just let me go in my little corner and chill out for a minute so I won't smack the shit out of you. Then we can talk about it when I'm not full of fire and rage and shit.
See, and there's the rationalization. You see, remember how I said earlier, women will rationalize their, because in that statement, it's like, I know I'm acting crazy, but since I know that I'm acting crazy, you need to now behave in a way that accommodates my crazy.
I
Forgetting
didn't say anything about them. I just said what I need to do. I said what I need to do.
no, you said a lot in that because I know that language. It's like, let me sit in my corner. And two, that's what you said, right? That's what you said. Let me sit into my corner so I don't smack the shit out of you. But it's like, wait, hold on for a second now. Let's not forget. Let's assume that the guy did nothing wrong, right? And he's not. You're just feeling insecure. Now he's got to abide by the rules of your insecurity.
I mean, is that a bad rule? Like, let me go chill out until
Yeah, it's a bad rule. It's like, let me go chill out. Or I'm going to smack the shit out of you.
What it's really giving, excuse me, what it's really giving is that over the course of the rest of that relationship or the next one, or even the ones before, what you did was not ever work on actually being less jealous or work on your insecurities. You just learned how to tailor your other half towards your insecurities and jealousy.
Yeah.
baby steps, growth. You know?
That's not growth. That is a lack of growth. All you're doing is asking someone else to change when you're not changing.
I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day, Cincy.
I mean, you're 30 something, so I mean, you've had more than a day.
But this is what I'm saying. But it's the same now. Like on the counterpart. Now, when men get jealous, we lean into the crazy, right? And it's not like, yo, let me go chill in the corner until I get myself right. It's like, I'm about to ruin your night. I ain't going to no corners. I'm acting a fool right now. It's like, you ever notice when, like, if you're a man, you get jealous, you know you probably shouldn't be drinking at the social event where the guy that you don't feel secure about is at the event too, and she's like holding your hand just a little bit tighter because she knows you're fucking crazy, right? And you're like, no, I'm just gonna have one more shot. No, I'm cool. Go ahead, go talk to your friends. And this fool's over there getting drunk, talking to himself at the bar. We lean into the crazy, man. Jealousy
You never loved me. I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
Oh my god, I just had flashbacks.
That's how men get down with it.
Some of my exes did
I'll show you having drinks. Goddamn.
like he came to my job and had like a whole episode. Got me fired and everything. That shit was wild.
You deserve to get fired.
That
man's emotions. You shouldn't have been.
No, I didn't. Like he was. We're talking about insecurities next week, but he was so insecure about everything, like every little thing. I couldn't talk to nobody. I couldn't go out by myself. This man wouldn't even let me shower alone.
What you need to go out by yourself for? And why you need to be in the bathroom by yourself? Why I can't be in the bathroom with you?
Like, what the fuck? Who am I gonna meet in the shower? Nobody's in the shower with me. Like,
Did you take her phone with her?
Oh, did you take your phone in the bathroom with you?
I always take my phone with me everywhere I go.
Trustworthy people leave their phone right on the charger, right in front of me.
Whatever.
Bex puts the phone face down on the table.
You know, Samsung fucked up the game on that one, man, because remember when they had that alert where if you had it face down, it would show the ring? It's like now you got it face down, it's like bing, bing, and the crazy's going with it. All I'm saying is, right, it's like in regards to, I know you're talking about insecurities next week, and I would love to hear what the women are going to say about it. But in regards to jealousy, the irrational reaction to the unknown or what you think, F it, I'm gonna jump out the window. Yeah, I think that expresses a lot different between the two sexes, but it's short of physical violence, right? You heard me say it here, DaVinci. I know that you'll probably catch this replay. Short of physical violence, which on average, I do believe that men statistically will act out in a negative way if there's going to be some physical violence. But women, they get jealous. But then if you confirm their jealousy in any way, remember, the women poison men at a higher rate than anything else. And that poison isn't always chemical in nature. It will be their behavior. It's like, oh, so you want to act brand new. I don't care if we are at your mother's funeral. I'm about to make this my funeral. Like, you see what the woman did on IG? She threw this man's mother's ashes into the lake.
That was horrible. Her ass would have been right over that bridge too with them ashes.
Oh,
but
you would have been going to get my mama's ashes. I'm like, well, get down there and get them out. Every last bit of it.
Do you recognize your triggers? Like what would trigger you to be jealous?
Yeah, I do. I think probably like the hugs, not really for me, but like other intimate or like touches that I would think would be intimate. I think that would trigger me. Just a regular hug, though. I mean, with texting, I don't know. I don't know if texting really triggers me.
Yeah, I recognize my triggers. I know my triggers, and that's why I tell you my triggers. Like, these are the things that trigger me. So don't. But you got to take ownership of your triggers, right? So it's one thing to recognize them, and this is something that I think women do too, and they just won't admit to it. It's one thing to know your triggers. It's another thing to deal with them and not project them onto the person you're with. Like when me and Mrs. Holdup, when I was telling you guys, like, I go out of town, my trigger would be like, yo, I texted you. How long you been in the shower? Text me back. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would, those type of things. And the trigger was actually just my insecurity it's an echo of a past relationship. So this sounds cold-blooded, but I had to train myself to be like, if my trigger is this, then I have to deal with it on the level that it is, right? If she doesn't text me back, and let's assume the worst. Let's say she is doing what my fear is telling me she's doing. If I find out, that's it. It's over. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I had to live in that. Like, what's the worst that can happen? If she does it, I'll be hurt. I'll be devastated. I'll be broken. I will live on. And that's how I got, you know what I'm saying? That's how I got over my trigger, because it's like, you don't want to end up like Anakin Skywalker worrying about some shit. Then you turn into a dark, what do you call it? Sith Lord. Sith Lord. You gotta look at your
nerd you are.
Huh?
I said some nerd you are.
I'm a big nerd.
Yeah, I would definitely say that's one big thing about, getting over the triggers of jealousy is like, as I got older, same thing, kind of like, it's just like, if I react on the jealousy or don't react on it, if it's true, she's going to do it either way. If I have something to actually be jealous about, me being jealous isn't going to change her action to that either way. So it's like, she's doing it. She's not doing it. It's not worth the energy anymore. But you can definitely play the petty game. So if you think you want some cheating shit and I don't call you out on it, but I know about it, trust and believe I am going to melt your fucking soul before we get out of this relationship.
Has anybody ever tried to like trigger you on purpose?
Well, they're all doing it on purpose, Bex, whether it's real or not.
Ooh, okay, that's a great question, because you know who tries to trigger, and this goes for everybody. The people that try to trigger you the most are the people in your own gender. Men try to trigger other men more than women try and trigger men, and women try and trigger the women more. And it's always because they want to do some shit in your face just to see if you're paying attention, because they want you to know they've got your girl or your dude's attention.
Yeah, I can pull your, but that's why you got to keep other people out your relationship, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I cannot. It can't be three of us in a relationship. It can't be me, you, and your girlfriend, right? I don't mind you having a close female friend or like a female confidant, but she don't get no decisions in our relationship. You know what I'm saying? But I agree with Sensei's statement the most because that's that I can pull your bitch shit. You know what I'm saying? And I know scumbag fools and they're supposed to be your homeboy, but it's like, yo, I'm trying to show you can't trust her. Like, all right, my guy, is there another way you can show me that? Because it's true, she shouldn't have done what she did, but why did you do this again? And why did you sleep with her? How did this benefit me? Because I'm your man. I'm your man. I'm trying to show you. Is that what you're talking about? You talking about that bullshit?
All of that is so toxic. Like, okay, so did we establish if we thought jealousy was sexy or not? You said you think it is sexy.
To an extent, like the possessiveness, like the cute cuddly possessiveness can be sexy, but like that can so quickly escalate to a point where it's not sexy. So I think initially it can be in small doses, healthy doses of possessiveness can be seen as a sign of love or affection to a certain extent before it's just a toxic trait.
I know.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Steve.
No,
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was saying I know some people think it's sexy because they're like, okay, they see it as this person really cares about me. And I know some men who prefer, their women to be overly emotional, attached, jealous, and obsessive. Because to them it's a sign of love. Mm-hmm. And I know some people like it when they're dating a jealous person. They might even go so far as to like play into that emotion by causing their partner to be jealous on purpose. That's why I was talking about, like, sometimes people will trigger you on purpose. And I don't know, I think some people sometimes see it as like a sexual game type thing, like almost like foreplay. Do you think it's a kink? Like, is jealousy a jealousy kink? You think that exists?
And there are two people that participate in that, right? It's like the person that's making, like you just described, who's making their partner jealous, and then the partner responding to it, and then they go home and have makeup coitus because now they ruined the group outing with their bullshit. But one thing I wanted to say, because I agree with what Cynthia said, man, I think though it can be sexy, and then you start to realize that it's endearing. Like when you first find out that your partner cares enough about you to be jealous, and they explain why they were feeling jealous. Let's assume that they explain it in a healthy way and they didn't show their ass at the family gathering. But I don't want to keep doing that, right? I don't want to keep doing that because it invokes some type of endorphin inside of me. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, I made you jealous, and this is how you know you're with someone that cares about you. I hear you, even if you are crazy. You're like, I'm gonna not do that again. Whatever it was that you're trying to describe, I recognize that this sets you off, but I need you to trust me. But I won't put you in that position where it makes you feel that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to keep goading them into the bullshit. You don't want your woman to end up like Khloe Kardashian, basically.
That shit evolves too. It really evolves because like. When I was younger, I would definitely say like you could take it to the extreme because, there's been a time where I woke up with a knife on my neck, and that night ended very pleasantly. But it had to go through hell to get there. But that was just off a happy birthday text too.
Wait, you say you woke up with a knife to your neck, and then it ended well? Like it ended well in the sense that you didn't get your throat slit, or?
Ended well as I got them draws, goddamn, back of the throat type shit.
Oh my god! Go ahead, Bex.
I don't know if I asked you guys like a time where you were jealous before. Did I ask you that already?
Not like we didn't give a specific, but I think I already stated mine. That was the healthy thing was Mrs. Holdup. Now I was in a relationship, a horrible relationship prior to the loving relationship I'm in now, where you ever have that feeling the person has slept with everyone in the room at the party you're at?
Oh wow.
I was in one of those type of relationships, you know what I'm saying? And where it turned out it wasn't my insecurity. It actually was a thing. So, and then when she fessed up to it, like, oh yeah, I have a past. I used to get down in a certain way, and it's just like, oh, okay, I faked the funk, like try to be that enlightened dude, like, well, that's your past. Don't worry, baby. I accept you for who you are now. But I wasn't emotionally in a place where I could actually accept her old behaviors. Like everywhere we went, I'm like, him too? Was it the whole town? Did you everybody in Target you worked with? And maybe she did turn over a new leaf. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I've definitely gotten bugged out before.
How long did you stay with her after that?
Bex, I like to equate that relationship to herpes. It never quite went away and it just kept coming back. You know what I'm saying? And then finally it came to an end. But I think all in all, that tragic, slow death was a year. The actual relationship was only 3 months. The breakup, makeup was 9. Sadly, like it just kept going.
Were you feeling those emotions throughout like the whole time or whatever?
No, because that's back when I still played the game. In the beginning, I had the power. But then when I was a loser, I lost the power. And then she was acutely aware that she had the power now, and she used the power, right? To make me crazy. I know how that sounds, me saying it. Like, how do you know she was doing anything? Oh, I know. She was evil. She was evil. So yes, I got jealous, but my jealousy was validated.
Oh, it was validated. Okay.
No, like validated, like she was doing the shit I suspected her of doing.
Okay.
Don't try to beat me up the head with some new school pop psychology retrograde Mercury bullshit. Someone sent me a picture of her out with another dude, and I was like, well, they could that could be one of her homeboys. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is a tad bit weird. I think she told me she was at her mother's house. I'll confront her about this later.
Oh God.
She's for the streets.
Okay, how do we combat this? Like,
stop dating crazy people and go seek therapy.
How do you know if they're crazy or not?
Oh, they'll present with the crazy, right? Crazy people can only hold it together for so long. You know what I'm saying? Like since you know exactly what I'm talking about, like a crazy woman can only, I'm talking as a heterosexual male. I don't know what anyone else's experience is like, but a crazy woman can only hold it together for so long. And a woman that sleeps around can only keep it together for so long. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they can try to stay the course and be normal, but it always comes out. So I combat it by not dating in that pool anymore. And I went to therapy to deal with my side of the bridge.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and I meant to say this earlier too, when you started talking about possessive. Like I think you can see a person who's going to be crazy possessive before you ever even get in a relationship. Like they'll exhibit traits of that in normal, even just friendship or getting to know you behavior. So, I mean, you can look out for that, obviously. But another one, I mean, if you have an issue with feeling jealous or possessive, whatever it is, like, just don't date flirtatious, extra talkative people.
Yeah, the extrovert. I'm a free spirit. Me and my crystals, we just gotta. No, I don't need that shit in my life. You muted. You know why you muted? Because the universe turned on you, the quote unquote universe. Because Bex, are you that free spirited friend, like girlfriend?
I just said I feel attacked. Like, like on those last two statements that you made and he made, I feel attacked, but it's fine.
Why do you feel attacked? Do you exhibit? Are you that woman that's like your poor boyfriend's holding your hand, but your arm is dangling back this way and he's trying to pull you back in and you're like, no, I'm just gonna go say hi to everybody.
I am a social butterfly, yes.
Uh-huh.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I am very flirtatious.
Okay, see the truth. The truth. Why would you continue to be flirtatious in a relationship though?
I don't know. It's just something that just naturally happens.
She's
I'm a,
scared and she's selfish and spoiled.
some people are natural flirts. Like I'm a natural flirt.
But why? Why continue to do that?
I mean, I don't do it on purpose. It just happens, Steve.
What do you mean you do it on purpose? What does that mean? What does that mean exactly?
I don't know what it means.
Okay. No, I'm not accepting that answer, right? So let me ask you this question. If you were sitting across from your next boyfriend and he said that to you, and he said, I'm just a naturally flirtatious person, what is your response to that statement?
I mean, I would get it.
You would get it?
Yeah, I understand.
Contextually, you would get it when he says it when you two are together. But knowing he's naturally flirtatious people, you're out at the club and he's being his natural free spirited self. You still gonna get it?
I mean, he's coming home with me that night.
This is your chance to be honest right now.
I thought the show. I thought she prefaced the entire show about.
I am being.
So your man's a free spirit. He's over there freaking giving long hugs, kisses on the cheek.
Okay. I'm not gonna be out here giving long hugs to men if I got a whole dude. Like when I say flirting, I mean just like me, as far as like me using my words, like talking or whatever. I can't help that everything I say is smooth like butter. Damn, like it's not my fault.
What about the emotional entanglements?
Huh?
So, what's up, Tim? So, what about remember the emotional infidelity, right? So that I believe that's a form of emotional infidelity. Why? You're almost making it seem as if though you can't. Oh, wait, hold on for a second. Define flirting exactly. What? Let's go there. Define flirting.
I mean, do you want like a technical definition?
No, I want your term, not the technical term, because you can just kind of swipe it away. What is your definition of flirting?
Like I said, like I don't know how to describe it, Steve. So I'm just gonna bring up a nice definition, from Webster's or whatever. Hi, Tim. How are you?
Tim, the topic is jealousy sexy?
Okay, so it's to behave as though attracted or trying to attract someone for amusement rather than with serious intentions. So yeah.
Okay. So with that context now, do you think it's appropriate if you're in a committed relationship to do those things and just say, "Oh, I'm just a free spirit. You need to understand me."
Did I say it was appropriate?
No, I'm asking you.
No.
Okay. So now you're gonna change. Now that you're on the internet in front of all these fine people, you not to do that. Right?
Yeah, sure. I can change.
I'm not saying you can't change. I'm asking you if you will change. Honestly, man, I'm the social butterfly, the flirtatious thing, all that stuff. It's cool until you realize you're doing damage to the other person, right? And now, of course, there are people with bruised psyches and egos, and they'll assume you're doing that even when you're not doing it, right? There's a balance. That person has to be accountable for their emotional state and how they're perceiving things, and you have to be accountable or I have to be accountable for my behavior. You know what I'm saying? I have to be accountable for my behavior. Am I doing the things that they're actually worried about? And that social butterfly bullshit that motherfuckers are always trying to fucking pass off as acceptable. It's insecurities. I'm like, okay, I too am a social butterfly. Let me show you how social I can be.
You don't gotta be stupid with it, though.
And they're not even, Steve, let's be honest. They're really not even worried about how it affects the other person because it's just who I am. Like, at the end, if you don't like me, we don't have to be together. Okay, thank you for confirming once again that you are incapable of changing both your jealousy and the reason that you make me jealous at the same time.
Exactly. And that goes for men too. For the I don't know. I don't know if I've ever heard of a guy call himself a social butterfly. I'm trying to contextualize that, how a man would say that. He wouldn't say he's a social
It
butterfly.
sounds super sweet. I can guarantee you that, man.
How would I'm trying to think. Have I ever said some dumb shit like that? I don't think I've ever said anything like that before. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think I said that either.
Huh?
I don't think I've heard a guy said that either.
Yeah, no. Guys don't communicate in that way. That usually is a woman term. It's like, I'm a social butterfly. Or they try to preface it with things like this since in the beginning of the relationship. They'd be like, so how would you feel if I did this? And I always answer those questions honestly, like, not only do I feel some sort of way about it, I'm telling you, don't do that shit. And if you can't not do that, then you and I can't be together. Or I'll respond this way, like, okay, if you do that, how would you feel if I monkey stomped the shit out of the fool that you did that? Like, would you be cool with that? If I went full Cro-Magnon, like, you be a social butterfly and I'll be the motherfucker that responds to everything with violence. And then we can both live in our truth.
I just gotta let you know ahead of time. I have a lot of guy friends.
Yeah.
I don't get along well with girls.
Oh
wow.
The great late Kevin Samuels, I believe he covered that too. He's like, if she doesn't, no, it was Anton Daniels. Anton Daniels said, if she doesn't get along with women, there's something to look at there. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, true. You don't want a bunch of women in your relationship, but then you, never mind. Let me, I'm on the internet. Let me not say the next thing. I'm about to dumb out right now, but 100%. I don't really relate to women. So that's why I hang out with all these dicks in a jar, dicks behind glass door, breaking case.
Not a breaking case.
100%. 100%.
Okay, well, with that being said, like, how would you, like, how would she go about explaining like her relationship with, like, you guys are my best friends. If I get a dude, how do I explain you two?
I'm
like,
out here. You ain't got to worry about them. I will remove myself from the situation as your friend.
Yeah, and that naturally happens. Like, when, you know what I'm saying, any homegirl I've had, the reason we've lost a lot of contact on the level that we used to communicate, right, was because I got into a relationship or they got into a relationship. For me personally, with my female friends, when they get into a relationship, I don't want that brother thinking anything. So I might actually make an effort to get to know him on a level where it's like, yo, I'm married. I love my wife. It's cool. I have no interest in your significant other, but I respect the boundaries of that man's psyche. You know what I'm saying? You and I don't text. I don't have your phone number, but the three of us message each other a lot over the show. I send you guys videos and stuff like that. If you got into a relationship with a guy, I would do less of that, not because I don't care about our friendship, but because I care about the potential of this relationship. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to do that. But men are more socially enlightened that way. Wouldn't you agree, Cincy? We know the honor code. We, you know what I'm saying? Unless it's a scumbag, we know the honor code.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why we know when they say, oh, I've got a lot of guy friends, that they're all fucking scumbags and not your actual friend.
Just waiting in the wings. Maybe one out of four of them. But you got to ask the questions, right? So if she says she's got a lot of guy friends and you shouldn't be insecure, then the next question, and she can ask you this question too, is, I'm like, okay, did you sleep with any of them? Like, you want me to accept that you have male friends and there's nothing there, then let me ask you this question. Have you guys had coitus before?
And then what if she says yes?
Then it's like, okay, now we got to make a decision, because if one of my boundaries is, I don't want to have to deal with your past, right? So I can make a decision where I'd be like, yeah, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool, because then why are you guys in heavy communication like that? Still, don't give me that. Well, that was in the past. No, you guys have been intimate in a way that, no, hell no. Hell no. What is he still hanging around for? What are you hanging out with him for? What are you hoping happens? I'm not expecting you to answer the question. I know we're challenging a lot of your worldview right now.
What do you mean?
We're attacking the modern woman sentiment right now. You know what I'm saying, Cincy, right? It's like, what are you guys still friends for? Right? Are you trying to, especially if you guys, so it's one thing if you were having sex, but if you say you guys were in a relationship and we're friends, oh no. Swipe left. Like, I'm done with you right then and there. Like, oh, you just, no, I'm not your pit stop. You need to figure that out. I'll circle back around when you guys aren't friends anymore.
I think you guys may be way better people than I am.
And in what regard? In what regard? Do tell.
I mean, because never mind.
See?
Nothing. Never mind.
Girl code shit. That's that girl code.
Never mind.
Thank you, Grego. This is Facts 100 at the Hold Up TV. People telling me I'm right only proves that I'm right. Thank you, Grego.
God.
And Grego with the GOAT all-time Michael Jordan quote. Also. The don't do drugs quote. Mike was so fucking straight-faced serious when he's stop it. Get some help.
Okay, let's talk about like expectations in a relationship. Do you think that plays a role? Like I think it's important to develop a realistic expectation of the relationship. I like being delusional, Your girl's a dreamer, but I like being delusional. It's fun. But do you think like having realistic expectations plays a role in that?
Yeah, I think it's about realistic expectations, realistic boundaries, right? And what you're going to permit and what you're not going to permit. But I think that comes with whether or not you're going to spend a substantial amount of time with a person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know when everybody else decides to articulate these things, but I've said this before with you guys. Me and Mrs. Hold Up had a real conversation when, you know what I'm saying, about what the expectation was for the relationship. So you got to say it at some point, right? It's just like, I don't know if in this dating climate, I do not envy you two at all. In this dating climate, when do you say, hey, these are my expectations of what I want out of a relationship? And then you got to live in faith a little bit, right? Is this person, even though they might agree to it, they could just be saying yes. I'm acutely aware. Men, we do that. Men will do that. Like, yeah, I'm that guy. He's not that guy. He's not that guy.
And what about you, Cincy?
Run the question back.
Having realistic expectations in a relationship. Do you think that can like help, or do you think that plays a role in the whole jealousy thing?
On a personal level, I don't think, which I guess your personal reactions and feelings about jealousy then will affect the relationship. But I think that having realistic expectations is just an individual controlled thing. Like, keep it real. She might fuck up or he might fuck up. Okay, that should be, like I had mentioned with myself earlier, that's like how you deal with it. Like, it's possible. It could happen. So I don't know. What I feel like if you don't have realistic expectations, you're more likely to not even get jealous because you're gonna put a false blinders in front of your face. You're not even gonna see any of the shit that would make someone else jealous.
Also, I think you got to destigmatize the word expectation, right? I think that a lot with a lot of pop psychology and today's sentiment around monogamy, the word expectation can sound like a dirty word, but really, my expectation is what of this relationship? Treat me with kindness, treat me fairly, treat me with love. Don't do anything to wantingly hurt me. You know what I'm saying? Like these are normal expectations, and you're able to express them normally, and your expectation isn't unhealthy. There's nothing wrong with going into it with those things, but you got to let the other person know. And I think it's unfair, whether you're a man or woman, to say these are the things that I've dealt with in the past, and the expectation is don't do these things, because then it's like, okay, well, have you dealt with the hurt of the past? Like, have you dealt with those echoes? And I think that's where jealousy stems from too. Like, you could have a quality person in front of you, and if your expectation is, hey, don't cheat on me, and they are meeting that expectation, but you can't let go of what's happened, it's no longer their problem. You need to deal with that. You need to deal with your hurt.
Yeah, I think that like confronting your fears is a big thing. Like jealousy, it can stem from insecurity or like a poor self-image, which is why it's important for you to confront your fears. And once you recognize and acknowledge them, then you can address them.
Yeah.
So I agree with that.
Yeah. It's also letting your partner know, hey, I'm not okay with social, flirtatious, butterfly behavior. You gotta let your partner know that. Like, I'm not okay with that. So is that something you can stop doing? Or you know what I'm saying? Like, not you, but like you gotta tell a person.
I agree. You gotta be open and honest. Communication is key. And if you feel jealous, then you need to, conversate with your partner about that.
No. That's not what I said.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I'm saying that you got to.
I heard what you said. Go ahead, repeat yourself, Steve.
You got to tell the person, I'm not cool with it. And if they can't change that part of their behavior, then you have to make a decision. You know what I'm saying?
Communication, is that not communicating?
Well, yeah, if the person loves you, the next thing out of their mouth is, you know what? I'm at a place in my life where I don't need to be the social butterfly and be flirty. I only need to flirt with you. Now that's real love. Am I right, Cincy?
That was cute.
That's the love the Geminis express. That's why Geminis are the most enlightened of the zodiac sign.
Oh, dear God.
It's true. It's true. And we're agreeing with each other, so that means we're right. You're outnumbered. You don't have anyone else.
We also usually never agree with each other, so this is one thing.
First of all, Steve don't even know what the fuck a Gemini is.
Oh, it's the only zodiac sign I pay attention to. All the rest of that stuff, like fish bear, water, bull, sounds like satanic stuff to me. Dualistic, scholarly, like thinking of having two personalities. Now that's an amazing trait.
Or you're just fucking crazy.
No. I'm a free spirit.
Oh.
Instead of running around flirting with everyone at the party, I like to just flip on them in a dime. Since he knows what I'm talking about, he's with me on this one.
It's true.
I remember the good old days when me and Cincy just agreed on everything. We need to get back to that power dynamic, man.
No, don't do that, because then I'm really going to be upset.
Tim says we're crazy. Tim,
they are crazy.
No, Tim, we already went over this. Skating in squares is crazy. I only skate forward. I never skate in circles or in squares. You gotta go. I got a destination when I go skating.
I also think that practicing mindfulness is a good thing too. Negative emotions can really like affect your physical and mental health,
Now that's an interesting statement, because then we have to define negative emotions, right? Because everyone in this, there is no truth. My truth is the truth. Someone can say that's not a negative emotion according to my definition. I'm like, well, there's only one definition for negative, and there's only one definition for emotion. And when we put them together, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people don't really adhere to a standard of what is negative behavior.
When I say negative emotions, I'm talking about like anger. Like anger can be a negative emotion.
Right.
Resentment can be a negative emotion. Like that's what I'm talking about.
Okay. Yeah. You know what else would be a negative emotion?
What?
Cavalier-like thinking.
Explain.
So cavalier thinking means that no, it's okay, everything's cool, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Like that is negative as well because it means you don't take anything serious.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I'm not attacking you. I'm I'm talking.
No, I can see that. I don't
Yeah.
feel attacked right now.
Oh, right now.
Not anymore. I did earlier, but not anymore. I'm over it.
That's all I do. I think you self-awareness, self-understanding, and empathy. Right? If you have empathy, then you'll understand and you'll empathize with what a person's saying. Doesn't mean you have to enable them, but looking at a negative emotions and negative behaviors, right? So people can have their emotional state and be completely aware and understand their emotional state, but then they won't take the next step to correct the behaviors, and that can lead to a lot of risky stuff, man.
What about meditation? Apparently, meditation can help you with jealousy. What do you think about that, Steve?
I think meditation is the excuse that cheaters use to like, I'm really meditating on why I am the way I am. So how long do you keep doing that? When do we go out of meditation and keep correcting the behavior? Stop meditating. That's what's wrong with people. They spend too much time reflecting and not getting into the action.
But it's positive.
In the immortal words of Kevin,
You gotta align.
Good.
I'm just saying you gotta go within, center yourself, align that solar plexus chakra. You feel me?
What?
Yeah. You gotta align the chakra, Steve. The solar plexus chakra. It's located 3 inches above your navel. And since he was talking about that gut feeling, and it makes sense. Like the solar plexus chakra, it represents your personality, it represents self-esteem, and it represents your gut feeling. Your gut instinct.
Okay.
Because sometimes it's not all in your head. Like you got to listen to your gut in some of these situations.
Okay.
But wait, what are we saying meditation is supposed to help with again, though? Like,
it's supposed to help, like calm your jealous rage or whatever.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought we said. The problem with that is, like, I think Steve may have mentioned, someone who's dabbled in a little bit of therapy here and there, like they do mention meditation sometimes, but it's like a 1/10 of a part of actually changing a behavior, because really all it's there for is to deal with like a feeling in the moment. But meditating isn't going to lead to any substantial change in you being a jealous person on its own.
Yep.
Well, I didn't say it was like a cure. I just said it was going to.
I mean, if we're saying like how to deal with it, that's not really dealing with your jealousy. If all you're doing is removing that emotion from that moment, that's not dealing with your jealousy. That's not evolving. That's just being complacent because you know how to get rid of it for a moment.
You provided some context, right? So for me, meditation upon my jealousy it has not been beneficial because I can't meditate on things, because once I sit and meditate, like honestly, I'm talking about meditating and reflecting, monitoring my breathing and all that stuff. I go into ruminating and morbid self-reflection, right? So the more thought I put into a situation, the more negatively I feel about it. So I don't meditate. When I was dealing with jealousy, what I did do is I would think about it. I would think about how it makes me behave. And I think for me, what worked best was correcting the way I act out on my jealousy, which is a weird process, right? So I'm changing the behaviors while I'm still dealing with the crazy. So on the outside, everyone's like, man, he's doing really good with this stuff. On the inside, I'm like, but then my mindset started to match my behaviors. I just self-therapize. So the meditating thing does not work for me. I know it's beneficial for a lot of people. Meditation doesn't work for me in general.
I mean, you gotta do whatever works for you.
Yeah, and what works for me is not rubbing crystals in between my hand, talking about I'm gonna crystallize the jealousy away. Right? I can't twist my dreads up. I'm not burning any incense.
I didn't even mention crystals. I was talking about chakras, Steve.
I don't know. Isn't that like something you order at the Chinese food restaurant? I got chakra that was not cooked properly once. Food poisoning. Huh?
I hate you.
I'm on this westernized white Jesus reflection.
Oh God. Okay. Where are we at? We're at we're
Bex is so through with us. She's like, thank you guys for helping me do these test episodes for this show. I can't wait to get some women up here so we can just kiki and haha and lie to each other. I bet you this would have been a different show if there were two other women up here. Like they would have been like, yeah, and another thing that men do that proves that they are the more jealous sex. I'm like, what?
Oh my God, you think you know everything.
Wait, no, I actually have to agree because these questions that she wrote, especially that one in particular, was leading.
Mm-hmm.
That was not an open-ended question.
What
For
question?
men and women. You said, are men more jealous? You led us to the answer that you were expecting or wanting. So yes, if you would have asked that same question to two women instead of two, very intelligent Geminis who pick up on every little subtle thing, then it would have been answered differently.
First of all, I asked the question already having an answer to it, and the answer wasn't just men and it wasn't just women. Like at the end of the day, it was both sexes, but just for different reasons. I asked that question I just wanted to see what y'all was gonna say, and I asked it for a reaction. It's my fucking show, so I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. Okay.
Now you're taking ownership, just like you had us do that damn test to be like, oh no, it's not relevant. We're not gonna talk about it. I just wanted to see what your answers.
Yeah, like I wanted that reaction. I wanted to see what you guys were gonna do and what you were gonna say. I knew you were gonna pick up on it, and I'm glad you did. I know you guys are smart and intelligent. That's why I love you. Okay.
She's trying to placate us now. Now she's trying to.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, I guarantee next week, whatever woman that comes up is going to be like, I felt like you were so attacked and alone up there on that stage. Chauvinist men. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I'm gonna find me the most feminist like I can find.
Hey, you know where to find her at.
I do know where to find her.
I support that decision 100%, by the way.
All you got to do is drop the link, though. Just remember, the Geminis are watching. So you make some outlandish claims up here. You got to remember up here.
I'm dropping the eyes in the chat on a fake account.
Bing, 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 bing. It is your show, though. It's your show. It's our last week on, so we wanted to make sure we roasted you a little bit. In conclusion, I rest my case on this, right? As a man, I have learned to be responsible for my jealousy. So the answer to the question, it used to be really sexy, but now it's not sexy, right? Because it's not sexy because it don't make me feel good to be jealous, and I don't want to make you jealous. You know what I'm saying? I just want to be at peace. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that. You don't have to be red pill or blue pill, any of those things. Men, I think at a certain point, I'm just speaking for men, are looking for peace in relationship. They're not trying to dehumanize the woman they're with, but they want that time. They don't need her to be his peace. Yeah, I don't like that term, but they want that time to be peaceful, right? They want to come into that space with you, and they want to be able to do the I have emotional intelligence thing. So this is where I jump out the window a little bit in defense of men who are trying to get past their jealousy. If they are working past it, they want to be able to be emotionally intelligent and go, I know she is not the woman that hurt me in the past, but I need you to help me in this moment. You know, he should do his work before he comes there, but don't be a part of the problem as well. And I'm not saying you have to live your life differently and subjugate yourself to it. It's just that if you do things that can invoke jealousy in a person and that you're doing it, don't try to rationalize it or moralize it, or make, false morality. Own up to it. Both parties. You be accountable for being insecure, and you be accountable for talking to every guy at the bar. Talk to some women. And then, nowadays, maybe not talk to anyone. Just stay with me at the party. We'll sit together. We'll eat our cucumber sandwiches together. I rest my case on that.
Okay. Do you have any final words, Sensei?
Do I have any final words?
Grego, you're my favorite person. Someone get Grego a pass to the Hold Up TV condo with the rest. I've never felt so validated. Thank you. It's a lonely world out here with these two, Grego.
I do. I have final words. In these final words, I am going to quote the queen and the leader of the Free Ratchet Nation, Erykah Badu. My eyes are green because I eat a lot of vegetables. It has nothing to do with your new friend. End quote.
Okay, that was cute.
Now, Erykah Badu is the person that threw a milkshake at Common in the studio. We know that Andre has not made an album since he dealt with Erykah Badu.
For the record, Tim, it was Steve that spelled jealousy like that.
No, for the record, Tim, actually, I'm glad you said that because I was trying to correct your mistake. I copy and pasted from your original spelling. Bex.
Oh, no.
You really? Was I the one who spelled it like that?
Yes.
No, you think I spelled it like that?
You see. I was like, I'm gonna let her walk into this one on her own.
I spelled it right in the description, so I don't think that was me. I think you're lying, Steve.
No. Also, okay, you think I'm lying? Hold on for a second. I'll
No, wait, don't prove me wrong. It's fine.
Look, I got drinking to do. I love y'all and all that. It's my time now. I got a couple of ice cold feminized drinks. It's time for me to be me.
Okay, be you, boo. Go ahead.
But wait, Bex, I just want to say something. I'm really proud of you. It has been my honor. Obviously, I'm going to be here in the background, monitoring the live and the chat and the StreamYard, helping you get everything ready for the show. But I am so proud of you. So great to have you on this platform and to work with you. And I'm looking forward to see where the show goes as it becomes a feminist rallying point for lies and bullshit and all other things untrue and ungodly. But I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Hear, hear. Cheers.
This was the last honest episode of Pillow Talk that y'all are ever going to see. I promise you that.
That's not true. Don't listen to him. But thank you, everyone. Who's in the chat? Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Esso. Thank you, Tim. Thank you. Somebody else is in here.
Yeah, Mantis was in here. DT was in here.
Thank you, Mantis. Thank you, beloved. Who's Rebuke TV?
That's me.
Oh, that's you.
Yeah.
You let me say hi to you and everything.
It was early in the show.
Why did you let me say hi to you?
Same reason I let you spell jealousy wrong, to keep you humble.
Okay, everybody. Thank you for coming out. It's been a nice show. Thank you guys for your support. I will see you next week. The topic next week will be insecurities. Okay, love you guys. Bye.